the Bank of England's last week went up by 0.5%, and as you earlier pointed out to me when we were having a quick off the air discussion, it's not as if they went from 2% to 2.5%, they went from 4.5% to 5%. Admittedly, their inflation number is quite high. But does that give us, our Reserve Bank governor, license to go again?
It gives them more cover because they weren't the Lone Rangers either. We had the Bank of Sweden, the European Central Bank, all talking rate hikes. A couple of banks have paused, like the Fed, the US Federal Reserve, didn't hike, even though they're sounding as though there might be one or two more to go. The Bank of Canada paused. So there's a couple that are pausing at a high level.
New Zealand
have paused at a high level. But there's a couple that are a little bit behind that are still going. And the debate for the RBA here in Australia, the Reserve Bank of Australia, is a 4.1% official cash rate sufficient to get inflation lower when we know most of these other central banks that we mentioned have got 5 or 5.25%, 5.5% interest rates.
The backdrop of this, of course, is that our Reserve Bank went last, or pretty much last out of all the ones you just mentioned.
Yep. And
everybody was saying that the Reserve Bank went too late. They should have gone earlier, and that's in hindsight argument, I guess, but nonetheless it exists.
Yep.
Does it feel as though to you that this could be, as I said earlier, licensed, therefore we still got a bit more in us because we got to catch up to the rest?
There's an element of truth in that. There's no doubt. There's an element of truth. However, what I'd like to do, and what I like to do when I look at the Reserve Bank, and I've been doing it for 30 years, as you know, is to look at the hard facts on the economy. Okay, what happens in the global economy is very important. One thing that we haven't spoken about is the Bank of Japan cut interest rates. Our major trading partner, the Chinese economy is weakening.
And they're cutting interest rates too.
And they're cutting interest rates. So we've got the Chinese economy weakening, arguably the biggest economy in the world, our biggest trading partner. Why? Because they've got inflation at 0%. Their economy's not growing. They've got a hangover of all this excess construction and these sorts of things occurring in the Chinese economy. So getting to your question, I'd like to sort of assess the whole gamut of issues. Just because the US Fed, the Bank of England, the Bank of Canada have all hiked rates to 5 and 5 point something percent doesn't mean we automatically have to.